Another spectacular day in Southern California as day 2 of joint practices with the New Orleans Saints and Los Angeles Chargers wrap up at the Hammett Sports Complex. It is the New Orleans Saints Training Camp Show, West Coast Edition, right here on CST. I'm Todd Graffagnini. This is John DeShazier. JD, the weather again is front and center as we had another great day, but the key is solid work done by both teams. They got what they wanted to do as far as getting the work done and accomplishing that.
Graf, I'm going to let you talk about the weather. I tweeted something about it, and I think I made some people angry, so I'm just going to leave that to you. But, yeah, you're able to get a lot of quality work done because you don't have to worry about the heat. You don't have to worry about the hydration issues that otherwise might be plaguing a team in South Louisiana. I think both teams really appreciate and love working against one another.
This is the third year that the two teams have gone against each other. Let's hear from head coach Sean Payton on the format of those practices.
The format generally has been fairly consistent. Obviously, the players are different. There's things that are different with what either team is doing. But generally what we've tried to accomplish on day 1, then day 2, and then the final day has been pretty similar. And there might be some situations we look at that we didn't a year ago, but I'd say for the most part, it's pretty similar.
Well, JD, it was great to see Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas back here at practice, this time participating in team drills. And it's funny that it goes full circle because 3 years ago, it was the coming out party of Alvin Kamara in the first preseason game out here. He broke that long run, and it kind of flicked things on as far as head coach Sean Payton goes, where, hey, maybe this guy can get it done.
I think it really gave the Saints a sense of what Alvin Kamara can do. If you recall correctly, it wasn't a few weeks after that, right after the first regular season game, where the Saints said, you know what, this Adrian Peterson thing, we probably have a guy where we don't need Adrian Peterson. Now, they drafted Alvin Kamara not knowing that he was going to be available, and they had already signed Adrian Peterson as a free agent. They get Alvin Kamara in camp, and then they say all of a sudden, you know what, this guy might be exactly what we're looking for. So that run showed him a lot in that game.
No question. Let's go to head coach Sean Payton. It was a light bulb moment when Kamara broke that run.
Well, I think historically, when we talk about a player that gains confidence, I mean, that run was, early in the game. I want to say it was the first series. I think that takes place in our game. Players do things very well and they build on those things, and that's where the confidence comes from. And I think very early on we saw a lot of positive things from him, and so the confidence not only grew with himself as he played, but it also grew relative to what we wanted to do.
Well, running back Latavius Murray continues to have an outstanding camp after a little bit of a hiccup, missed a couple days with injury, but he is back participating fully. And JD, look, he's going to be counted on in a lot of aspects in the Saints offense.
Well, we know he's a guy who can operate in short yardage. You look at his touchdowns, we know he can do that. But Mark Ingram filled a huge role for this team, not just as a runner, but also in the passing game. He was a guy who's fantastic at picking up blitzes. He was a fantastic guy who in the screen pass game, and he was a pretty good guy in swing passes out of the backfield. So Latavius Murray, those are the things that he's going to have to do effectively for the Saints.
Here's running back Latavius Murray on his role in the Saints offense.
As far as my role, we haven't gotten into any of that. Let me tell you, I've done every single thing that the playbook has to offer for a running back. I haven't been left out of certain situations. I've been out of the backfield, empty, doing all those things. So right now, for me, it's just learning this offense, being able to do every single thing within this offense. And then as, time get going, going out there and proving I can go do those things on the field.
About a couple of weeks ago in training camp during an indoor session, Drew Brees got the very rare day off. It's something he does not really look forward to. This is a very competitive quarterback. He wants to be out there taking every rep, and here's his thoughts on those vet days.
Oh, I hate vet days off. I just like taking the reps. I like being out with the guys. I like getting work done. I just don't want to miss. I don't want to miss anything. And I feel like if the guys are out here, I should be out here. So, but I also understand the value of rest and recovery at times when it's needed. So I'm trying to be smarter in my seasoned years. And so obviously when you're asked to, hey, take a day off, there's nothing worse than sitting on the sideline and watching everybody else do it, right? If you're going to tell me to take a day off, go put me somewhere where I'm not going to drive myself crazy staring at it, you know?
When we return to the New Orleans Saints Training Camp Show, West Coast edition, right here on CST, it'll be the 3rd annual Saints-Chargers Quarterback Challenge. Welcome back to the New Orleans Saints Training Camp Show, West Coast edition. I'm Todd Graffagnini. This is John DeShazier. Well, it's been a tradition here out on the West Coast, the Quarterback Challenge between the Saints and the Chargers. The Chargers got to pick first this year, and you go back to the carnival-type fair atmosphere. Here's how it went.
All right, welcome back. This is year 3 of Chargers Saints QB Challenge. Drew Brees and the boys are in town, and we kind of have a combination of things we've done the past couple of years mixed with things we've done. We call it County Fair. We're here in Orange County. We've had the County Fair here for the whole month. Here's the competition today. A lot of throws. There's gonna be 40 balls thrown total by 4 guys each team, 10 throws each. We start here along the back line of the end zone. We got the butterfly net for 1, bucket for 1, crossbar for 1, another bucket for 1, another butterfly net for 1. And then you're gonna flip around here. We got the skeet shooting. All you need is the pull call. Pull, 1 there, and then we have 2 throws there to the blue donut.
Yep.
In the donut hole is worth 2. Hit the donut is 1, and then we got the net coming. We got the moving target in the back. Kyle will be driving the net, and it is 3 points if you make it in the big net. It's gonna flip around to this tiny square that I think is about 1 in 1,000, if that, and it's a 5-pointer for that one. So a lot of points on the line, a lot of balls in the air. Let's see who wins day 1. Yes. 1. Yes. 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 4. Lay it. 5. All right. Full. Yes, sir. Oh, come on.
I'm not snapping free.
Oh.
Hands up.
Nice. That's 2. Ground first.
Oh. Speed it up, Kyle.
There you go. Yeah. Like it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Oh, 7?
Who said 1 in 1,000?
All right. Pull.
All right, we're 3. We're 3.
Ah!
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. 17.
Get out of here.
Get in.
Oh, see. Yeah.
Pull. Ah, shoot. Woo. Good Lord.
Let it settle at the high point. Got a little ball on it.
All right, Cardale hit the 5-pointer, which was huge for us. It's 17-6, and yeah, we'll see what happens here down the home stretch. We're probably willing to make a bonus point score throw for Drew here, depending on what the deficit is. Pull. Ah, short. I barely caught it. 3.
Yeah, just lay it.
Sick.
Strong.
Oh. I liked it. It was way behind.
23-6 is what we're looking at right now. All right.
Oh, pretty. Yes, yes. Oh, he's on fire. On fire. Oh. Well.
Oh, Drew!
Cool.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Get him. Oh. Make this a 10-pointer, Drew, right here. It's 23-13. This ties it up.
All right, this will tie it up.
This ties it up. It's a 10-pointer. I like it. Oh. Mid-air, I was going, never mind. 5-pointer.
At least it was enough to make you nervous.
Hey, so day 1, Look, they
Chargers
just flew
came
in.
strong
We
today.
came
Bottom
strong.
line, we weren't ready, so we got to get our mind right, and it's our comp tomorrow. All right,
Their
our comp.
competition, we're up 1-0, and as we know, it's going to come down to Saturday.
That's exactly right.
We're going to make it come down to Saturday, but it's their competition tomorrow. It was a good day. Cardell stepped up big.
I actually like the county fair name. Do you mind if we steal that for
No,
New
yeah,
Orleans? We
steal
can
it.
take that. All
Use
right,
it.
that's good.
All right, see you tomorrow.
Final segment of the show, New Orleans Saints Training Camp Show, West Coast Edition. I'm Todd Graffagnini. This is John DeShazier here on CST. Well, JD, 2 practices have wrapped up. Tomorrow it will be a walkthrough as they get ready for the game on Sunday.
Yeah, the walkthrough is still valuable. You're still going through the learning process, especially with the younger guys. Each and every rep that they get is a learning process, and you just want to see how those guys are able to absorb it and apply it on the field. So those walkthroughs actually are pretty important. I know people think they aren't, but they're pretty important.
Well, the Saints will walk through, but we will be back here on CST tomorrow for a preview of that 3 o'clock CBS game between the New Orleans Saints and the Los Angeles Chargers. Stick with us here on CST. That's John DeShazier. I'm Todd Graffagnini. We'll see you tomorrow on the New Orleans Saints Training Camp Show, West Coast Edition on CST.